Hi. Today we are going to study about the hormone of adrenal cortex. In the previous class we have studied about anatomy, blood supply of adrenal gland. Now that we have divided adrenal gland into adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla, first of all we will discuss the hormone of adrenal cortex one by one. Now hormone secreted by adrenal cortex is called corticosteroids. What is it called? It is called corticosteroids. Okay. Glucocorticoids, which includes cortisol and cortisone. This is the cortisol and cortisone. These are the two hormone which are collectively known as glucocorticoids. They have widespread effect on glucose and protein metabolism. So remember, glucocorticoids, कॉर्टी वर्ड से याद रखना, कॉर्टिसोल और कॉर्टिकोस्टेरोन. ठीक है. दूसरा है मिनरल कॉर्टिकॉइड्स. नाउ इन दिस अल्डोस्टेरोन इज द चीफ मिनरल कॉर्टिकॉइड्स. देयर आर डिफरेंट अदर मिनरल कॉर्टिकॉइड्स, लेकिन सबसे जो चीफ हार्मोन होता है मिनरल कॉर्टिकॉइड्स का, दैट इज द अल्डोस्टेरोन. It regulates the sodium balance. Okay, it sometimes absorbs, it sometimes help in excretions, reabsorption, excretion, secretion of sodium, so that it balances the sodium in the body. And of course, hence the extracellular fluid. If your sodium balance is there, your osmotic balance is there, extracellular fluid volume will also be balanced. So they have effect on both. Then we have adrenal sex steroids, and these includes DHEA. Just remember by this short name DHEA. The full form is dehydroepiandrosterone. Okay. All right. And of course, it's sometimes if sulfur group is added into it, it becomes a sulfate ester. So sulfate form is also there, but the main hormone is DHEA. Main hormone of mineralocorticoid is aldosterone, and the main hormone of glucocorticoid is cortisol and cortisterol. ठीक है. Now, of course, apart from these mineralocorticoids, adrenal sex corticoids and glucocorticoids, some other products are also secreted by adrenal cortex. And what are they? They are the biosynthetic precursor of these three end product. I mean, these mineralocorticoids, sex corticoids and glucocorticoid. इन तीनों का प्रिकर्सर मॉलिक्यूल क्या क्या है? तो हम कह सकते हैं कि इन सब का प्रिकर्सर मॉलिक्यूल जो है वो क्या है? प्रोजेस्टेरॉन है, 11-डीऑक्सीकॉर्टिकोस्टेरॉन है, 11-डीऑक्सीकॉर्टिसोल है. ये तीनों जो है ये प्रिकर्सर मॉलिक्यूल्स हैं. किसके? मिनरलोकॉर्टिकॉइड, एड्रेनल सेक्स कॉर्टिकॉइड्स और ग्लूकोकॉर्टिकॉइड्स के. ये सब भी प्रेजेंट होते हैं. ठीक है. ओके, देन वी मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट. सपोज नाउ वी आर टू डिस्कस द ग्लूकोकॉर्टिकॉइड्स. सो लेट्स फर्स्ट टॉक अबाउट इट्स सिंथेसिस, है ना, because it is the most abundant hormone from the adrenal cortex, glucocorticoids. It is mainly formed by the zona fasciculata. Okay, but mainly formed by zona fasciculata, you may say 90%, but some small amount are also formed by ZR, that is zona reticulosa. ठीक है. Sorry, I have highlighted all the words. So mainly zona fasciculata forms the glucocorticoids, but some of the glucocorticoids are also formed from zona reticulosa. ठीक है. Now we will see step. Just I want to show you the steps here. the main mother molecule you can say is the cholesterol. This cholesterol is derived from the LDL. You know what is LDL? Low density lipid. They are roaming in the blood, and your adrenal cortex, they try to take up this LDL, form cholesterol, the mother molecule, and then they are acted upon by 20-22 desmolase to form pregnenolone, and now there are various steps. From this pregnenolone you can form cortisol here, you can have corticosteroid here. How? These are the glucocorticoids. So pregnenolone is converted into the 17-alpha hydroxy pregnenolone. Now these two steps go parallel. Okay. From pregnenolone you have progesterone. From progesterone you have 11-deoxycortisol. From 11-deoxycortisol you have corticosteroid. Okay. Here you have 17-alpha hydroxypregnenolone. Then you have 17-alpha hydroxyprogesterone, 11-deoxycortisol, and cortisol. You don't have to remember all the enzymes. Just you have to. Important thing is to know that cholesterol is the mother molecule. Then this pregnenolone is also secondary. You can say a second mother. You can say, because it is the main molecule from which glucocorticoids are being derived. And you don't have to remember all these steps. Just you have to know the second last step. 11-deoxycorticosterone and 11-deoxycortisol. Okay, all these steps need enzymes. You can see here 70-alpha hydroxylase, 70-alpha hydroxylase, 11-beta hydroxylase, and deficiency of all these enzymes can cause different diseases. We can discuss it in the the application part. But for here, you just have to know the mother molecule is the cholesterol. This is the mother molecule. Okay. And then you have pregnenolone forming all these corticosterone and cortisol. Okay. Now we'll see how these are formed. Here you can see there are LDL receptor, right? And low density lipoprotein, they have a constituent called cholesterol. Low density lipoprotein, they have cholesterol in it. So these cholesterol via LDL receptor are invited into the adrenal cell. Okay, and cholesterol, after being esterified, they are stored as cholesterol ester. So the storage form of cholesterol is cholesterol ester. Whenever you need it, this cholesterol ester will hydrolyze into cholesterol. Okay, and then in mitochondria, this cholesterol will form pregnenolone. Okay, and this pregnenolone will move to endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, to form here pregnenolone, progesterone, dehydroprogesterone, 17-hydroxyprogesterone. You don't have to remember all these steps. Just you have to know that cholesterol after forming pregnenolone will move to other. This is pregnenolone. This will move towards the endoplasmic reticulum, and from here via different metabolites, they will again move to the mitochondria, and it is the second last product I told you, 11-hydroxyprogesterone. They will give rise to cortisol, and it will go to the cytoplasm and then outside for action. Alright, so these steps we will discuss it step one by step. Just I am showing you the figure here. Now let's move to the uptake of cholesterol. Very interesting. Now what happened? These corticosteroids hormone, as we know that it is synthesized from the cholesterol, and cholesterol is actively taken. This active is very important. It is not passively but actively taken. Okay, by the adrenal cells from LDL of the blood. Cells of the adrenal cortex are rich in LDL receptor. That means we have seen here that cells of adrenal cortex are rich in LDL receptor. Okay. Now, after this, cholesterol enters by the way of endocytosis, then there are microtubules. Okay, there are microtubules are skeleton of the cells. They move this cholesterol from the membrane towards the cytoplasm vacuoles. Okay, and they are stored as cholesterol ester. So storage form is known as cholesterol ester. So the LDL taken up by LDL receptor, the cholesterol in it is taken up by the cytoplasm, then microtubules moves in and it stores this cholesterol into the vacuoles, that is known as cholesterol ester. Okay, but again there are some enzymes present already in the cytoplasm, that can also form a small amount of cholesterol, but mainly it is taken from the receptor, from the blood, but a small amount of acetyl coenzyme is also present, which can form small amount of cholesterol. Okay. So, under normal condition, as we are resting, we don't have any stress, in this condition, the corticosteroids that are synthesized by the cortex can form from free plasma cholesterol, whatever the cholesterol is being taken. Your stored form is not used. When your stored form is used, when there is a stress, okay, when ACTH stimulates your glands. So under basal condition, these corticosteroids are synthesized from the free plasma cholesterol, but when there is more need and more ACTH secretion, adrenocorticotropic hormone, from where? From pituitary. They will stimulate, then these stored form of cholesterol ester becomes hydrolyzed by enzyme known as cholesterol esterase. So as we have seen the figure here, how this cholesterol ester, when stimulated by the enzyme hormone ACTH on adrenal glands or adrenal cortex, they will hydrolyze into the cholesterol, and the enzyme known as esterase, cholesterol esterase. Now, the cholesterol that is free enters into the mitochondria. So, we have seen in the figure, it enters into the mitochondria. Now, there are different enzymes that acts on this cholesterol ring. Cholesterol ring is what? The ring you can see here. This is the ring. This is the steroidal ring, basic ring for the cholesterol, or the steroid ring you can see. There are 4 rings, A, B, C and D. Okay, and this is 21 carbon chain, and there are 4 rings. Different enzymes are there for different ring. Different lysis occurs from different sites. We will see all that. So there are enzymes, 5 oxidative CYP enzymes. They are known as P450 enzymes. They act on various ring carbon of the cholesterol to form corticosteroid hormone. So these 5 CYP enzymes is CYP CYP enzymes. They are named. These are the naming nomenclature of the enzymes. Formerly it was called as P450 enzymes, but now we call CYP enzymes. These are oxidative enzymes because oxidative enzymes are present in mitochondria. So these 5 oxidative CYP enzymes, they act on different rings. There are 4 rings. They can act on any rings, and they can form the corticosteroids. ठीक है? So you can see here what are different name of the enzymes. As you can see, 2022 decimal age. Remember where we have seen 2022 decimal age? Let's see again. Right here, 2022 decimal age. Okay, it converts cholesterol into pregnenolone, and where this occurs? This occurs in mitochondria. See in the figure again. This occurs in the mitochondria. Okay, what enzyme? 2022 decimal age. What is the description of this decimal age? Before we used to call it P450 SCC. Now we call it CYP11A1. Don't have to remember the name, just for your curiosity. Location mitochondria. This you have to remember. This 2022 decimal age, which converts cholesterol into pregnenolone, the location is in mitochondria. What it does? It cleaves the side chain between the carbon 20 and 22 of the cholesterol. This cleaves the side chain between the carbon 20 and 22 of the cholesterol. You can see here 20 and 22. कहाँ है 20? ये है 20, है ना, और 21 है. इस साइड चेन को ये क्लीव करता है यहाँ पे. ठीक है, सॉरी. जस्ट वन सेकंड. Okay. So second hormone we have enzymes. We have 3-beta hydroxydehydrogenase. Okay, these are present in endoplasmic reticulum. This catalyzes the conversion of pregnenolone to progesterone. Now we have seen. We are now here. See, after formation of pregnenolone by 2022 decimal age, now pregnenolone is moved into the endoplasmic reticulum. Now from pregnenolone to progesterone. Which hormone? 3-beta hydroxydehydrogenase. This catalyzes the conversion of pregnenolone to progesterone. Okay. Again, you don't have to remember it, just for your curiosity. And there are now different type of enzymes. You will read it in your book also. Catalyzes the hydroxylation of carbon 17. 21 hydroxylase catalyzes the hydroxylation of carbon 21. 11 beta hydroxylase catalyzes the hydroxylation of C11. So there are different enzymes with different nomenclature and different function. Okay. Now, side chain cleavage of the cholesterol. You have the cholesterol, you have the steroidal ring, you have the 5 ring, 1, 2, 3, 4 ABCD ring. Now what happens? The enzyme 2022 decimal age that we have just discussed it is also known as side chain cleavage enzyme. Side chain cleavage enzyme. These converts cholesterol into pregnenolone. Again and again we are studying these enzyme, these 2022 decimal age, these convert cholesterol into pregnenolone. And where it occurs? It occurs in mitochondria. And this pregnenolone can also be called as a common precursor of all steroid hormone. Can't be. It has to be, because cholesterol and also the pregnenolone is the true mother of all the steroid hormones. So you can say these are the precursors. And this is the rate limiting state. Remember, now you have to remember which is the rate limiting state. This is the rate limiting step in the synthesis of corticosteroid. This conversion of cholesterol into pregnenolone. If somehow this 2022 decimal age enzyme is deficient, do you think any of the corticosteroids can form? Do you think any of the corticosteroids can form? No. If 2022 decimal age is deficient, you will have some sort of disease, and the whole corticosteroids will not be developed. Any of the corticosteroids will not be developed. Be it either sex corticoids, be it either mineralocorticoids, be it either simple cortisol or corticosterone, aldosterone, nothing will be formed. So it's known as rate limiting state, right? conversion of the pregnenolone to 11-deoxycortisol and 11-deoxycorticosterone. So now just visualize that figure. Just visualize this figure. Now we are moving to where? Endoplasmic reticulum. We have converted cholesterol into pregnenolone by 2022 decimal age. जी बार बार आई एम रिपीटिंग बिकॉज यू मस्ट रिमेंबर, है ना. और उसके बाद pregnenolone विल गो टू द एंडोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम. नाउ स्टोरी बिगिंस इन एंडोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम. Let's see. There occurs an hydroxylation reaction. These reactions subsequently follow the formation of pregnenolone and progesterone and occur within the endoplasmic reticulum. These reactions are catalyzed by 17 alpha hydroxylase, 3 beta hydroxygenase, 21 hydroxylase, and convert progesterone, pregnenolone into this. So this you have to remember. Other enzyme and all don't have to remember. So in endoplasmic reticulum, pregnenolone is converted into 11-deoxycortisol, second 11-deoxycorticosterone, right? Now this 11-deoxycortisol is the precursor for the cortisol हार्मोन. 11-deoxycortisol से क्या बनेगा? cortisol. ऊपर देखिए फिर से 11-deoxycortisol से क्या बना हमारा? cortisol. और ये जो एंडोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम में ये दोनों फॉर्म होता है. 11-deoxycortisol से क्या बना? cortisol. और 11-deoxycorticosterone से क्या बना? corticosterone. समझ में आया? Now 11-deoxycortisol से cortisol जो बनता है वो कैसे बनता है? 11-deoxycortisol is transferred back to mitochondria. Now since 11-deoxycortisol has been formed in the endoplasmic reticulum, it is transferred back to the mitochondria. This step, this transference is very efficient in human being. 95% of the every 11-deoxycortisol that has been formed in the endoplasmic reticulum is converted into the cortisol in mitochondria. So much efficient. ये सारा का सारा 11-deoxycortisol जो बनता है वो यूज होके cortisol में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है. The cortisol so formed now can rapidly diffuse out of the cell and is not stored appreciably in a adenocortical cell. Very important. जैसे बनता है वैसे निकल जाता है, स्टोर नहीं होता है cortisol. इसीलिए जब भी we have acute need for the increased amount of circulating cortisol, the rapid activation of the entire synthetic sequence from the cholesterol is activated by ACTH. So जब भी हमें जरूरी होता है, नीड होता है स्ट्रेसफुल कंडीशन में, तो ACTH तुरंत एक्टिव होकर सारा का सारा जो सिंथेटिक सीक्वेंस है उसको बनाएगा. मतलब साथ साथ में कोर्टिसोल तो बनेगा ही, दूसरा हार्मोन भी जरूर बनेगा. ठीक है. तो ये हुआ कन्वर्जन ऑफ 11-deoxycortisol. कैसे? 11-deoxycortisol एंडोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम में बनता है. किससे? प्रोजेस्टेरोन से. प्रीग्रेनुलोन से प्रोजेस्टेरोन बना, प्रोजेस्टेरोन से 11-deoxycortisol बना. 11-deoxycortisol जाता है कहाँ? माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया में. माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया में कॉर्टिसोल बनता है और ये कॉर्टिसोल फिर डिफ्यूज करके सेल से बाहर डिफ्यूज हो जाता है. जहाँ इसको यूज है वहाँ यूज हो जाता है. ठीक है. स्टोर नहीं होता है. ठीक. अब तो दूसरा प्रोडक्ट जो हमारा प्रोजेस्टेरोन से बना था, क्या बना था? 11-deoxycorticosterone. उससे क्या बनता था? corticosterone. इसका फॉर्मेशन देखते हैं. नॉर्मल सर्कमस्टांसेस में लिटिल corticosterone is formed and cortisol is the dominant. This you have to remember. The cortisol is the dominant glucocorticoid in human. ठीक है. However, when the cortisol synthesis is blocked somehow, now how can it be blocked? Let's suppose cortisol secretion is blocked. How can it be blocked? You can have any deficient enzymes in these steps. So if these steps that forming cortisol is deficient in enzymes or absence of enzymes, so the channel will not go via this side, channel will go through this side. So in that case, when there is a deficiency of cortisol, corticosterone try to help it by increasing its secretions. Otherwise, cortisol is well dominant hormone. Okay. So when the cortisol synthesis is blocked, the pathway of corticosterone is opened and active. An increased synthesis of corticosterone can provide the glucocorticoid activity necessary for the maintenance of health. So 11-deoxycorticosterone is converted to corticosterone by the enzyme 11-beta hydroxylase in the mitochondria. ठीक है. Now plasma level, transport, metabolism, excretion of glucocorticoids. Plasma level of glucocorticoids and other corticosteroid hormone, which we'll see here in the table. Okay, first let us discuss here. The plasma level of total cortisol, I am talking about cortisol and not corticosterone. Total cortisol in plasma show a diurnal fluctuation. That means in evening it will be, late evening it will be different, in night it will be different, in morning it will be different. Okay, so average is from 10 to 25 and the mean is 14 microgram per cent. So this is the average plasma concentration of the cortisol. Okay, cortisol. The rate of secretion of cortisol, which is 15 milligram per day under normal condition, but it can increase up to 300 to 400 milligram per day under severe stress condition. So normal level 14 microgram per cent, rate 15 milligram per day normal condition, but if there is a stress 300 to 400 milligram per day can be secreted. Okay. Now if we see the level, different plasma level, you can very well see कि सबसे ज़्यादा कंसंट्रेशन किसका होता है प्लाज्मा में, कॉर्टिसोल का होता है. तो किसका होता है, कॉर्टिसोल का प्लाज्मा लेवल कंसंट्रेशन होता है. ठीक है. हम कहें सबसे कम किसका होता है, तो अल्डोस्टेरोन और डीऑक्सीकोर्टिकोस्टेरोन का होता है. ठीक है. रेट किसका ज़्यादा है, रेट इसी का ज़्यादा है, कॉर्टिसोल का, 15 मिलीग्राम पर डे. एंड सी हाउ लेस ऑल एवरी अदर हार्मोनीज. ओके, इसका ज़्यादा होता है. सिर्फ DHEA that can beat it, but then DHEA is not a glucocorticoid, right? So glucocorticoid में हम कहेंगे तो कॉर्टिसोल और कॉर्टिकोस्टेरोन में अगर देखेंगे तो सबसे ज़्यादा कॉर्टिसोल होता है. ठीक है. बट ओवरऑल देखेंगे तो दिस DHEA. ओवरऑल मीन्स द होल एड्रेनल कॉर्टेक्स, बट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द glucocorticoids. In glucocorticoids, cortisol and corticosterone, the level of cortisol is much higher. Now, how these glucocorticoids binds cortisol? How does it bind to protein? Which protein does it bind? Let's see. How does it being transported? Now, the cortisol level in the plasma, whenever the cortisol has been formed in the mitochondria, they diffuse out of the cells. They are not stored in the adrenal cortex. In the blood, they are mainly in the bound form. They always try to bind itself with some protein, some transport protein. 90% are bound, very important to know, and only 10% are free. Only 10% are free. Let's talk about the bound form. These cortisol binds to a specific binding protein that is known as CBG, corticosteroid binding globulin. CBG, remember, corticosteroid binding globulin. It is a alpha 2 type of globulin. Corticosteroid binding globulin. Okay? It's a glycoprotein which is also known as transcotin. So this corticosteroid binding alpha 2 globulin is also known as transcotin. Transport cortisol. transcortin, right? And small amount 15% is bound to the albumin also. तो भाई ग्लोबुलिन भी है ज़्यादा और 15% एल्बुमिन को भी से भी बाइंड होता है, ठीक है. नाउ why this binding occurs? First of all, binding occurs because it prevents it from being excreted. It's a very important hormone, stress hormone. It can be used in a phases of the different stresses. So it is not desirable to be excreted unnecessary. So this binding will prevent it from urinary excretion. And of course, if it is binding to the protein, no enzymes can degrade it, so it prevents from degradation also. So the bound form protects it from urinary excretion and degradation. And of course, they are the circulatory reserves. These bound form are the circulatory reserves. From storehouse, you can say, wherever you need it, you take out from the storehouse, right? And let's talk about the free form, which is only 10%, 5 to 10% of total plasma cortisol. This free form is responsible for the physiological action. So this bound form is only used when they are a stressful condition. Otherwise, in physiological condition, now you are seeing this video, you are at rest, you are at physiological condition, that 5 to 10% of plasma cortisol is enough for you. Okay. What is the interrelationship between the free form and bound form? Okay, free form and bound form. At the normal levels, we know that what is the mean. It is the mean level is 14 microgram per dl cortisol. The free form is less than 10%. You all know. Bound form is 95%, 90%. When the total plasma cortisol increases beyond 20 microgram percent, the binding sites of transcortin are saturated. Now let's see. You have different transcortin, you have different CBG binding protein, but when your concentration of plasma cortisol increases, your protein, transport protein will exhaust. कितना को बाइंड करेगा? 5 प्रोटीन है तो 5 ही कॉर्टिसोल को बाइंड करेगा ना. अगर 5 से ज़्यादा बनने लगा तो वो बाइंड नहीं कर पाएगा. ठीक उसी तरह अगर 20 माइक्रोग्राम परसेंट से ऊपर हो जाता है कंसंट्रेशन प्लाज्मा का, कॉर्टिसोल का, तो दिस बाइंडिंग साइट्स ऑफ द ट्रांसकोटिन बिकम सैचुरेटेड एंड देयर अकर सम इंक्रीज इन एल्बुमिन बाइंडिंग ऑल्सो. वो भी कुछ है बाइंड, उसको भी कर लेगा, वो भी सैचुरेट हो जाएगा. बट after that there has to be increase in the free form. So free form increases when all the saturation all the transcortin or binding protein are saturated with the cortisol, then only free form increases. Let's see the figure how this free form have an important effect on the negative feedback, right? As we have seen here, the statement says this free form is responsible for the physiological action of the hormone, including the feedback regulation of ACTs. Let's see how it controls the feedback. Anterior pituitary gives ACTH. ACTH working on adrenal cortex when it supplies free cortisol. This free cortisol can be in the, first of all, protein bound cortisol 14 microgram, tissue cortisol, okay, but this, whenever the free cortisol increases, it will have a negative feedback. So यहाँ पे बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है समझना कि अगर नेगेटिव फीडबैक एंटीरियर पिट्यूटरी का हो रहा है, इसका सीधा साधा मतलब है कि तुम्हारा फ्री कॉर्टिसोल इंक्रीज कर रहा है, और इसका सीधा मतलब है कि तुम्हारा 20 माइक्रोग्राम से ऊपर है. पता लगा सकते हो कि अगर एंटीबॉडी पिट्यूटरी किसी भी हालत में नेगेटिव फीडबैक में जा रहा है, इसका मतलब हमारा प्लाज्मा कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ कोर्टिसोल का 20 माइक्रोग्राम से ज़्यादा है। अगर उससे कम रहता तो फ्री फॉर्म ज़्यादा नहीं होता, वो बाउंडेड फॉर्म में होता। क्योंकि बाउंडेड फॉर्म पूरी तरह सैचुरेट हो चुका है, फ्री फॉर्म ज़्यादा हो चुका है, इसलिए वो एंटीबॉडी पिट्यूटरी को नेगेटिव फीडबैक दे रहा है। दिस इज द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ फ्री कोर्टिसोल। और द ट्रांसकोटिन, कभी कभी शॉर्ट नोट्स आता है ट्रांसकोटिन पे, ठीक है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है एज अ पीजी क्वेश्चन ऑल्सो ट्रांसकोटिन। द नॉर्मल प्लाज्मा कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ द ट्रांसकोटिन इज 3 mg/cent. ट्रांसकोटिन, द अदर नेम इज, प्लीज से दैट अदर नेम क्या था? CBG. what was that? Cortisol binding alpha 2 globulin, right? That is also known as transcotin. इसका कंसंट्रेशन 3 mg/cent होता है, एंड इट्स बाइंडिंग कैपेसिटी इज 20 माइक्रोग्राम कॉर्टिसोल पर dl. ओके, कैपेसिटी अगर 20 माइक्रोग्राम से ऊपर गया सैचुरेट हो जाएगा, कैपेसिटी ही उतना है 20 माइक्रोग्राम कॉर्टिसोल per dl. It is synthesized in the liver, very important. This what you call alpha 2 globulin, cortisol binding alpha 2 globulin or transcotin is synthesized in where? Liver, where the rate of production is increased by the estrogen. Very good, estrogen. With the stimulating factor for this cortisol is estrogen. So estrogen acts on the liver, stimulate the production of transcotin. Transcotin flows into the plasma, it binds to the cortisol. The concentration of transcotin and therefore the total cortisol is increased during the pregnancy. That is the reason why in pregnancy total cortisol level increases. You know, pregnancy is a stressful condition. You all know pregnancy is a stressful condition. The body needs more glucose, more metabolism of protein and carbohydrates. You need to have more cortisol, right? So for increasing cortisol level, for increasing its reserves, its free plasma level, you need to have more binding protein. You need to have, for more binding protein, you need to have more stimulation of the liver by estrogen. In pregnancy, estrogen increases, and we also give estrogen from outside also, in the form of tablet also. In the third trimester, the last trimester of the pregnancy, transcotin, can you believe the transcotin levels are twice that of the non-pregnant state. So highly metabolic state, third trimester. The increased total cortisol, however, not associated with the symptom of excess cortisol, as the level of free form of cortisol are normal. That is important. Even if you have twice the level of transcotin level, even if you have more and more cortisol binding to the transcotin, you don't have the symptoms. Why you don't have the symptoms? Because your free form of cortisol are normal. If free form of cortisol are excess, then only you have the symptoms, because only the free form are binding to the receptors and going to act, not the binding form. Binding form only when it's necessary. So जब भी necessary होता है प्रेगनेंसी स्टेट में, हमारे पास रिजर्व होता है, और उस रिजर्व से बाइंडिंग फॉर्म से हम लोग निकाल लेते हैं, एक्सट्रैक्ट कर लेते हैं जितना जरूरी होता है। वैल्यू को, प्लाज्मा लेवल को नॉर्मल रखना है हमें, प्लाज्मा लेवल ऑफ कोर्टिसोल को नॉर्मल ही रखना है हमें अपना स्टोरेज फॉर्म बढ़ा देना है, तो इसलिए कोई सिम्टम्स नहीं होता है। नहीं तो अगर एक्सेस कोर्टिसोल हो जाए किसी में जरूरत से ज़्यादा, तो उसको सिम्टम होने लगेगा, उसको हम लोग पढ़ेंगे उसको क्या बोलते हैं सिम्टम्स को, एक्सेस कॉर्टिकोस्टेरॉइड्स डिजीज होता है, ठीक है। लेकिन प्रेगनेंसी में नॉर्मल था। प्रेगनेंसी इज अ फिजियोलॉजिकल कंडीशन, तो जो भी कुछ होगा फिजियोलॉजिकली होगा, पैथोलॉजिकली तो नहीं ना होगा, कोई डिजीज तो नहीं है ना प्रेगनेंसी, ठीक है। Transcotin level in the plasma are decreased in some diseases like cirrhosis of the liver, because if liver is diseased somehow, however estrogen you give, they will not form the not ट्रांसकोटिन, बिकॉज लिवर इज डिजीज. सिरोसिस ऑफ लिवर में ट्रांसकोटिन लेवल डिक्रीज हो जाता है. नेफ्रोसिस. नेफ्रोसिस इज द कंडीशन ऑफ द किडनी where your basement membrane, glomerular membrane, becomes more porous. It becomes so much porous that it begins to give away or diffuse even the proteins. You have a proteinuria, and in that protein, this transcotin also goes outside the urine. So in the blood you have less transcotin. So level of transcotin decreases in cirrhosis of the liver. Level of transcotin decreases in nephrosis. Level of transcotin decreases in multiple myeloma. Multiple myeloma. Okay. So there are many conditions. These are just 2 or 3 examples how transcotin level are decreased. You have to remember. Just one also will do, 1 or 2 liver disease, you just remember, nothing else. Decreased level of plasma transcotin are associated with a decreased total plasma cortisol, but with no symptoms of cortisol insufficiency, as the level of free are normal. Again, see. You have to differentiate between, the term total plasma cortisol and free cortisol. These are the two important. Whenever we do the test, sometimes we do the test for total plasma cortisol and free cortisol. So decreased level of plasma transcotin are, of course, it will be associated with total plasma decrease in total plasma cortisol, because total plasma cortisol not only involves the free cortisol, it also involves the bound form of cortisol. The overall total plasma cortisol will decrease, but the free form is normal. Okay. So decreased transcotin level affects the total plasma cortisol, but do not affect what? Do not affect the free form of cortisol, right? We read the harmony here. Okay. This is very short, just can finish in one go. Corticosterone, like cortisol, it also exists mainly in the bound form. So the same way the cortisol is is in bound form, corticosterone is also in the bound form, but to lesser degree. That is why half-life is slightly shorter than cortisol. ठीक है. कोई हमसे क्वेश्चन पूछा था किसी स्टूडेंट्स ने कि क्यों कॉर्टिकोस्टेरॉन का और कॉर्टिसोल का हाफ लाइफ होता है, वो डिफरेंस होता है. ये किसी स्टूडेंट्स ने पूछा था मुझसे. तो ये रीज़न है. कॉर्टिसोल जो है, कॉर्टिकोस्टेरॉन, दे ऑल्सो एग्जिस्ट इन बाउंड फॉर्म बट टू लेसर एक्सटेंट, एंड दैट इज वाई हाफ लाइफ इज slightly shorter than the cortisol, because cortisol 95% बाउंड करता है प्रोटीन के साथ, और कॉर्टिकोस्टेरॉन ओनली 50% मान लो बाइंड करता है. फ्री फॉर्म जिसका ज़्यादा होगा उसका मेटाबॉलिज्म ज़्यादा होगा, इसलिए कम देर तक काम करेगा. कॉर्टिसोल चूँकि उसका बाउंड फॉर्म ज़्यादा है, वो बहुत देर तक काम करेगा, है ना. जैसे ही फ्री फॉर्म ख़त्म हुआ डिराइव कर लो, फ्री फॉर्म ख़त्म हुआ डिराइव कर लो. That means that is the reason. कल किसी ने स्टूडेंट से पूछा था. So this is the reason why the half life of corticosterone is slightly lower than the cortisol. Now, what are the interrelationship between the cortisol and cortisol? Right? The cortisol is in equilibrium with cortisone via enzyme 11 beta hydroxylase. The cortisol is in equilibrium with the cortisone via the enzymes 11 beta hydroxysteroid DHA. The cortisol is converted into cortisone in the kidney. So this is another thing. Now we move from here to the kidney. Okay, where you have the metabolization of the cortisol. I think we should stop here because it's already above 40 minutes, 45. Okay, so we will do it in another class. Just I think we will do the action of we'll take more time if we need. We don't have to be in a hurry. Okay, we'll read the effect on fat, protein and carbohydrate, right? So I'll try to stop it here. Whatever question you need, you can just post. You read further, okay, and you ask me, so that when during the discussion of this class, I can remind you about your questions and the answers here, right? So pause it here, stop it. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.